Art of automation. I'm talking about this topic because we are going to learn about the automations with the shell scripting. So, how it is going to help in our daily works, in the career, what kind of works we are going to use. The title, job title is DevOps and DevSecOps or SRE. So, these are the most commonly people now looking in the different clouds. You do you know what cloud? What is cloud?
Uh, it is like a huge service maintained by big companies, which will provide the services to different users for a particular period of time for processing or storing any data, and also re reusing those servers after once it gets completed by removing the data and giving the same services to others. And
Yeah.
where-
So we have our own laptops and why we are going to use cloud? What is the need? So just comparing with that one, do you have any idea? We have system in your office also. At your office also, you can have the desktop system or Windows system or Linux system, whatever. So do you have any idea why we are using cloud?
We are using cloud because sometimes the data is so huge that you cannot store it in one small device. So what we do is we keep it in a virtual place in a cloud, so that the company who's securing the data is a known one. So we also know our data is secure, and we can access anytime from any of the device, not just laptop, from mobile, from tablet, from anywhere, if you have an account.
Right. So good. You have a little bit idea. So Harshita, do you know why we are going to use cloud? Or do you know any cloud name, cloud service
Yes, sir.
provider?
AWS Cloud, uh, Google Cloud, and um, Microsoft also. There is a cloud services, sir, but I'm not sure of the name. Um, So I know I I'm aware of those
Good.
companies.
Nice, nice, very good, very good. Yeah. So Google is providing GCP, Google Cloud Service Provider, and AWS, which is most popular among all the clouds, top number one. And we have Azure is a cloud that is from the Microsoft. So these are the top three cloud service providers. And if you know one of them, and you can easily recollect or connect with the other one and compare with that one, as Sanjay told, we have to store a huge number of users can work together, means in the project we are going to use a lot of developers are going to be there, and we are going to share one particular system. So that system we can launch in a virtualized environment, as Apu mentioned. And when you have the virtualization capabilities, it is going to have not only small size, which we are having in our desktop and laptop. So it will be a huge size. Normally, we are using our laptop max 1 terabyte, but in the cloud, we can have the petabytes of data we can store there and access and store, archive, and a lot of automatic facilities are there. Okay, so when we are working on this cloud, any account on any cloud is required. So going with the AWS is the first thing we can do. So please have a AWS account and always connect with the with your laptop. So that will help me to whenever I give some questions, so that you can connect with that one, execute it, and understand that one. So that would be helpful. So most of the current jobs are DevOps, DevSecOps, and SRE. These are the jobs They are going to have a junior level or senior level or manager level. All those are in these areas only. Now, because the cloud requires this. Okay. So cloud, whenever you are going to use, it is like a rented house. It is not permanent house. And when you're in the rented house, as much as you want to utilize the same thing, as much as fast you want to execute the things and perform. So your business needs will be executed from the cloud, and it will suffice with the automations what you are going to learn. So automation can be everywhere. That can be in a shell script. That shell can be used in the Jenkins. That shell can be called in a Ansible. So anything that is going to work with, but the basic thing from the 1970s, we have one software which is developed that is still continuing, that is shell. Okay. So shell, what is shell? What are the types of shells and all those things we are going to see. So just giving my intro, this is me, Pavan Devarkonda, and I'm working in IT industry since 20 plus years. That experience I'm sharing with you with all automation abilities. So why we are going to do this automations in cloud computing? Why it is called computing? You know any idea? If you are going to say AWS EC2, what is the mean of that one? Aku or Harshita, Sanjay, anyone? Do you guys know what is?
Don't know, sir. Don't know, sir.
Okay. Uh, in cloud, there is a word called elastic. Okay. So elastic, as much as you stretch, that much it is going to work. That is what the meaning. And elastic cloud computing, EC2. So C two times coming, that's why it's called EC2. And when you're going to create instance, EC2 instance, that can be any platform with virtualization. So you have used the virtual machines in the cloud. The meaning purpose is this one. So cloud computing is going to be work. And when you have a projects in most of current projects, if you go for a or Oracle projects, or if you go for the banking projects, if you go for the insurance projects, most of the projects are present in on premises. What is on premises? There will be a data center and a lot of number of servers running there, and there will be big AC cooling system and uninterrupted powers. All these things will be there. That is all burden for the company. So all those things are moving by using this rented system. That is what cloud computing, right? So the cloud computing, which we can see, the cloud is going to be renting, giving that space, and we can deploy whatever the application you want to run. Something, one small example, you are running one Java program in a Tomcat, the Tomcat server running in on premises, that we can run it on the cloud. The same thing we can run, we can create a virtual machine and run it on your cloud environment. So this system, one example which I have given, if you have huge number of Tomcat servers, hundreds of Tomcat servers running for one particular project, let's say e-commerce site like Amazon. So Amazon e-commerce, or if you go for something which is you're all aware of, banking system, HDFC Bank or ICICI Bank or insurance, all these systems are going to run on one particular data center. So from that data center, you want to shift all the entire project, all the servers load to cloud. Then how it is going to work? For that one also, there is a need of automations. So the process which we are going to use is called lift and shift. So you know the same process in this picture. If you look at this, if you have some lot of building blocks are available in the on-premises that we want to shift it to another location, if it is done by manually, human intervention, And if it is something very dangerous in that one, and if you want to pick that one and you want to shift it, it is very hard and it will be takes longer time. But if you use some automatic machine like this, okay, then it will be very easy to handle that one. So on-premises requirements are different, and on the cloud, the requirement is different. And going forward, most of the projects will be runs only on cloud. So that's why the migration projects currently going on, but going forward, always in the cloud projects on software, everything will be on the cloud. So when you're working on the automations, you should aware of how this can be shifted. Automation helps the cloud computing, which will people who are going to operate in the on-premises in the cloud, they should aware of how that should work. Okay, so I'm just giving some idea about some more ideologies which automations are required. So write comments whenever you start working on the script. So why we need, how to prepare. So this is a rules, basic rules when you start working on the scripting. So first thing is we are going to write why we are going to write a script, automation script. It may be shell script, it may be any kind of script, Python script, Perl script. There are a lot of other scripting languages also there. So I'm going to touch Bash, BASH shell scripting. Okay. So when you start this, you should have a clear cut idea how to code, clear coder. So you will become a clear coder and you start with the comments. Script objective you have to describe in the comment, and usage of the script, how that can be executed. When you run the script, what are the parameters you have to pass. So that is a arguments which you want to pass it. That is another thing which you need to explain. And the right readable text we have to write in that one. So when you write that, it should be in proper English so that everyone can understand. Every new user also can run the script. That should be, you have to make it in your script. So there should be a meaningful names when you're defining the variables. When you work on the variables, it should be proper meaning, and it will be reusable. And if you give that script to somebody newly joining, he should also understand and try to change the variables or lines or anything which is required in the project. So when you create a project, it should be it's a fool, any fool can write code, but that this statement is very, very important. So the computer can understand. Good programmers write code that humans can understand. So these are the two important statements. So anyone can write code, but who can just look into the Google and find the code and they can place it. But good programmer writes the code that human can understand. So there is a two different things. You know, ChatGPT came into the market and it is machine can understand. But human can understand means whatever the program you write, that will work. But how that is going to work, what is the purpose of the program, you should make readable. That should have proper comments, that should have proper variables. And whenever you write the functionality, when you define that logic, what is required, when you write a automation, how many things you can break down, that we are going to define in each piece separately, called as a modular programming. So all these things we have to keep in mind and try to create your code. Any questions?
No, sir.
No.
Okay. So why I am going to use a bash? We have a lot of other shell scripting abilities. KSH is there, SH is there, Perl is a shell. Python is also one kind of shell in latest Linux. So BASH, born again shell, its full form is there. So it's a abbreviation. So bash is the most powerful because it is a part of integrated into every Linux system, every Linux operating system, and as well as now it is available in Unix also. Do you guys know about difference between Unix and Linux? Anyone? Anything? Any points? There are two different things, right? Unix and Linux. Unix is different and Linux is different.
I'm not sure, Pawan.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they are operating systems, so
Yeah, both are
it
operating.
is like similar to this OS and
Okay. Yeah, I'll give 2 points. So there are two types of softwares developed generally, and operating system is also one kind of software. Okay. So Linux is open source operating system. Linux is a
okay.
open source. And before Linux, it was in a company called Bell Labs in US. Okay. In the defense system and in telecom departments, they developed Unix operating system. Unix is from a proprietary company. There is a company, Bell Labs, and they started giving how that multi-user operating system should work. Multiple users are going to work. You know, Windows, you are working on your own. So one person is working on Windows system, right? So it's a personal laptop, personal system, personal desktop. But Unix is multi-user operating system. This shell, bash shell, is going to help us to work with multiple users. It is help us to protect with one user's resources with another set of users. So everything is isolating from the this multi-user environment, and we can use this shell very effectively. That's why I have chosen the bash shell. Bash shell is easy when we are working, and it is freely available. You can install on Windows also as a git bash, and you can work with the bash commands. And it is fastest turnout of any command which you're going to give in the shell. When you're working on this bash, this is keep on improving since 50 years. 1973, it was started called as a shell, corn shell. After that, it is improved. Keep on improving and keep on adding new commands to that one, and the kernel is developed. Okay, so let's give me some history about it. Bash shell. Bash means born again shell. Who is born and why it is called again shell. So it is earlier it is a just born shell. Born shell is a SH, just only shell. And this is developed by Stephen Bourne. Stephen Bourne created in 1970s this shell in Unix operating system. So whatever you learn the commands or write the scripts that will work in both Unix system and Linux system. Okay, so that's why I have chosen bash. So sh is available in every system, Unix system and Linux system. But bash is improved version that is available on Linux system. Latest bash is available in built-in, always available in Linux system. So we'll create one Linux system on AWS and start practicing in that one. Who developed this bash? Bash is developed by Brian Fox, and he programmed this bash. Brian Fox is a software developer, and he is most into Unix internals, Unix device controllers, and he made a lot of contribution to the shell. And this is released in 1989. Bash is 30 years old. Okay, so this is about history, and I'll start a little bit about our system. So when you start working, whenever you work on the Linux system, we are going to see the paths. So there are two different paths, and you should understand what is these two. So we'll try to work on that one and then understand very clearly about this one. One is absolute path that start from the slash. Slash means in Unix and Linux, that is root. So in Windows system, just like C drive, C colon slash we are going to have, right? So here it is forward slash. Unix and Linux uses forward. Okay. And why we are using Unix system? Why not Windows system in projects, real-time live projects? There is one more difficulty. Windows are not secure, insecure as much if you compare with the Linux. Unix and Linux, if you compare, Unix is much more stronger compared to Linux because Linux is open source. Anyone can write any program and they can put into the Linux. Okay, but now the Linux open source system is also very protective, and that is much more better than Windows operating system. That is why most of the projects runs on the Linux operating system. Okay, so no viruses. If you compare with Windows and Linux, Windows is going to get every month some 3000 plus updates and changes for the hacker attacks and different problems. Okay, insecurity because of that one. We are not using. And if you see Linux, it is very rarely we are going to find viruses in Linux. And that too, there are some vulnerabilities you can find in Linux, but they are also giving patches in every month. Every month, Linux system, if you take Red Hat Linux, they are having monthly patches. They always look for the any vulnerabilities or any problems, hackers can attack these things. They are going to give patches. Remember that one. Absolute path, relative path. These are the two important things you need to understand. And path, whenever you are using, it's a environment variable present in a Linux system, one of the Linux system. So we can see that one. And relative path means what? From where you are in the directory, current directory onwards, wherever you want. That is a relative path. Okay. So this is the important thing which we are going to see in the practical thing. Okay, I'll just explain how we can execute all those things. But once we switch to the hands-on, you have to do practice, understand clearly. And if you don't understand, ask me anytime. Okay, so these are the basic things which will help you when you work on the bash. Okay, any Linux command or Unix system man command will help. Man pages are created by the utility when you are going to use. So if you take one small example, ls is a command in Linux. So ls is going to have a man page, manual page, manual, you know already. So whenever you start using one particular device, you are going to get a manual, user man. Just like that, every command is going to have a manual, and some commands which are third party commands which don't have manuals in Linux. Okay. Info. How to use a command that is going to give with the shortest, simplest way. It will give the options. It will give the usage of one particular command. It doesn't give complete detail, all examples. It will give only short form of your help. And you want to know one particular command, where is that particular command available? Is it available or not? Then you can use a which command. Okay. Command, if you want to find ls command, ls is a command. That command, where it is present? Is it present in bin, or it is present in US or local bin? So these are the different paths. Okay. So that paths which is going to display, which command will gives that one. You can also use a command -help or a -help. And we can also use varies command. We can also use who. So who all present in that particular system. And whenever you work on the scripting, we have to change different file permission modes. And we try to discuss about files and file permissions and owning of the files, directories, and we can also change different shells. So as I mentioned, bourne shell is a basic shell, and born again shell is a bash shell. It's a inherited, okay, child shell. So you can switch from sh to bash anytime. So to do that one, sh sorry, CHSH. Any command that starts with the SH, that is indicates change. The first example, if you see, CHMOD, change mode. Change mode means the full form is that one. CH is change, MOD means mode. So the file mode we can change. CH own means change ownership. Okay, so these are the commands which we can try to understand more detailedly when you work with the files. Okay, date and time, these are the two things which we can see when you execute those commands and try to get that tracking on the one particular system. So when you work with the shell variables are very important. How we can use the variables? Shell variables always strings. Strings means names, the characters we are going to use. So it cannot be numbers. Any variable which you define, that cannot be a number or symbol. Okay, so the variable can be X, a variable can be first name. So that is a string. The shell exports. So whenever you use the variables, that variable can be passed to the subshells. It can be used to within the environment within the current shell. So these are the two different limitations we have. So when you run that, when you log into your system, that is going to give you one shell. And when you run the BASH in the command line, it will create a subshell. Okay, so within the subshell, from the parent, you can get some of the commands, some of the variables, and something which is restricted. So we can see those variables scopes and understand. Okay, so within 10 minutes, I think we are going to reconnect. Remember, this Zoom is 40 minutes limit only. Okay, so variables, special characters when you're working on, when you create the script, there are some important things you need to know. Some symbols which are having a special meanings. In that case, we are going to use a backslash, escape character we are going to use. Okay, so if you want to print something, two lines, first name, next line, and last name you want to give. In that case, backslash n indicates a new line. So next line it is going to print. So backslash is used for indicating the new line. Backslash t indicates a tab space. Okay, so like that, which we can use the escape sequence. And if you want use some strings in your displaying messages, we can use the double quotes. Okay, so when you're working with the double quotes, we can enclose. Single quotes will be as it is going to display. When you're working with the double quotes, it is going to change the content of variables. When you are going to have the $X, then X content of that variable value will be stored, and that will be displayed when you use in the echo statements. Okay, so these are the special characters which will use in the shell. Okay, so when you are working on the script, how I can name when I go for a script, what should be the purpose? The main goal should be indicates with the script name, and shell does not care about the extension. You give .sh, or if you don't give also, it will work. And just for indication how it is going to work, this is going to use the Bourne shell, then we are going to use a .sh. If it is using the KSH con shell, so script name can have extension, but this is not mandatory. Remember that point. Starting with the dot indicates that it is a hidden file. So generally a profile in your shell, whenever you log into your shell, bash, if you log in, then .bash underscore profile will be there. If you go for the ksh profile will be there. If you go for the sh shell, it is going to have dot profile. So naming script don't use the special symbols. So whenever you are naming, don't use symbols like dollar, underscore, and underscore we can use, plus symbols or any other symbols, ampersand, greater than, less than symbols. Don't use in the script names. Remember that point. Sorry. So when you're working on the shell, how it is going to work when it is going to start in the first line, we are going to write shebang line. Shebang means the symbol, that is pound symbol and exclamatory mark, then followed by the path of the shell. So it can be bash, like slash bin bash, or you can give slash bin ksh. Okay, if you want to run a script that is going to work with the Perl, then you can indicate that one. So this is called shebang line. It is going to tell that shell interpreter which one to use. Okay, what interpreter to use. There are different interpreters. So there are two types of languages or automations. One is programming language like C language, C++ language, right? They are compiler languages. And this shell scripting is going to work like an interpreter language. Interpreter means one by one line, it is going to check the syntactical errors, and if it is works good, it will proceed. Whenever there is a error, there is syntactical mistake. Suppose you have written 10 lines, second line is having syntax error, it will stop there only. It will not proceed further and it will show only that second line error. If you go for the C language or Java programming, it will compile, it will go on, scan entire program. If you have written 200 lines, it will check all 200 lines and find some 10 errors, and it will show all the 10 errors at a one time. Okay, so compiler language, interpretation, both are different. Here, shell is a interpreter. Bash shell is an interpreter. Is it clear? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm going further, one small structure how we can write a shell. So shell program looks like this. First line is shebang line. That is pound symbol. Pound symbol is used for commenting. As I mentioned, the comments should give some knowledge to a new user to understand what is the purpose of the script. Describe that script. Second one, who has developed that one, the script development, your name, date, when you are created this. Whenever you modify, that modification date also you can add it. Version, first time you created 1.0 you mentioned. Second time you are modifying 1.1 version you can mention. So like that you can mention the version of your scripting. Okay, and when you start a script, you can have functions, you can have a lot of lines, scripting lines. Okay, the function can have a modular breakdown of your entire big logic which you want to develop for automation. Okay, so you can break down some number of functions and you can call as it is required. Okay, so that is about how the program and shell can be created. So shell program which we want to run, then what is requirement, basic requirement, execute it using the chmod. Whenever you want to create a file, that file will be read write option. It doesn't have the X option. So RWX. What are these three things? These are the file permission modes. RWX. R means read, W means write, X means execute. So it should have a execute permission. When you write a shell script, you should give the execute permission. The platform information you should aware. Then you are going to use a uname as a command, and it is going to give, is it a Ubuntu or is it a CentOS? Is it a Red Hat? These are the Linux flavors, what platform you're using. So uname is a command which we can use. Hard drive mount points we can use. Disk space we can check, and we can also see the directory structure from which you want to execute any script. That is also you have to mention in your scripts. Okay, so platform information you should aware, then only you can execute the script. So I will stop here, the theory part, and let's move on to the practical. So I'll just try to show it on one of the browser. Are you able to see my screen with browser? One of you confirm?
Yes, pa.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so just a moment.
One more has to join.
Yeah. Okay, Akko is joined. Good. So I just open a website, Kilakoda. So this Kilakoda gives us the access on the internet, and if you have the GitHub account, you can log in with that, and the account will automatically gives a shell, and you can run the shell commands for 1 hour. So you can see on the top, it is 60 minutes time. Okay, and you can write the scripts on this one. Okay, so generally this is another cloud freely available temporarily, and temporary cloud, yeah, it is a free. So you name, we can use the command, and you can get, it's a Linux operating system. And whenever you want to get more options, then A is option that is going to give all information about the this operating system. Okay, and this is a kernel operating system. Kernel detail is here, and date and time also comes into this one. And what is a CPU process? How many processes? So you can see here, and it is having around three. And there is simple commands which we can use and make a shell script. Okay, so clear is going to clears the screen, and any directory in which you are present, we can see with the pwd. Okay, present working directory. All right. um any question, anytime you can ask, and don't hesitate. So if I'm going to say here ls, it is going to give the current file directory content. Okay, ls-l is going to give a long list, means it is going to give more details. And if I'm going to see somewhere else, let's say etc and ls-l, it is having a lot of other files. Okay, so in the current directory, if I'm going back, then cd enter, it will goes back to the home directory of this system. So currently I'm at root user. So how can I see who is the user? id is a command that will tells you you are connected with what user. Okay, so id, identity, user group is displayed here. So if you are having multiple groups, and it is going to show here. Okay, so normally when you create the user, we'll see that creating user and all those stuff later. But yeah, whenever you want to work on one particular project, let's say you want to store the source code using the git requires git user, and git is going to be member of this particular group root. So group can have multiple users, and group uh, information is also stored in some location. And similarly, we can also have the users information also present in a file. Okay, so users information, remember this point. How can I get users information? If you are going to say cat, file content will be displayed. etc is a directory. In that one, there is a file called passwd. So in this file, we are going to have all the users information. Okay, so all these are users, different types of system users. We are not created this user. Ubuntu is a user. Systemd, this is a user. Okay, so like this, we can also create Sanjay user or Harshita user, Akku user, like that. All right. So that is another important thing which we can use. All right. Another one is date command. How we are going to use. So date is going to display current date, today's date, along with the time. It it is having a lot of formats, and we'll discuss sometime about the date. Okay. So currently, what we want to do is echo how it is going to work. We are going to see echo. If I'm going to give in a double quotes, whatever I'm giving, that is going to display here. Okay, and if I'm going to say x is a variable. So in a shell variable, it is a string. So I'm saying echo is I'm storing in x, and I want to use that echo, and name is then dollar. If I'm going to use it, is going to retrieve the variable content. So remember this one, x is a variable. If I'm going to say name is x, it doesn't work. X content doesn't come. Okay, so just I'll show that one. If I'm going to say name is x, it is just displaying as it is. If I'm using dollar, it is getting the variable content. This is clear. If the variable is x, the x can be changed in the next time as 100. And if I'm going to say name is $x, it is going to say name is 100. So you can change the X content anytime with any value. It can be string, it can be number, it can be float, it can be true or false, anything. Okay, so variables can be stored like this, and variable can be used with the dollar wherever you want to use. So these variables, shell variables, most of them will be defined in the system. So the shell variables you want to see, then you can say env. So environment variables. Okay. So these variables which you can see in capital letters, they are all shell variables. When you launch your Linux system, this is a Ubuntu Linux system, it is automatically have these variables, pwd, log name, home. So these are all variables and they are having values. Okay, so you have a lot of other shells, and what is current shell you want to know. We are learning about shell. You want to know about shell, and shell is also environment variable. If you just say shell, echo dollar shell, it is going to give us we are in bash shell. Okay, so as I mentioned, we can also use a which command to see any command from where it is coming from. ls command is in usr bin ls, that is a path. Suppose you want to know about bash, it is giving a soft link location usr bin bash. Here is also bin bash. So this is not directly exposed, it is used users bin bash. Okay, so if you just go to this directory cd usr bin ls, you can see these are all Linux commands. Most of them which you are seeing in green color, they are all commands, okay, which are having arrow, they are soft links. They are not commands, they are a link to the actual commands. Okay, so these are all basic things which you can see in your shell. Okay, so when you are creating a script, what are the things required? We can just need to know about vi or vim. This is the editor. Okay, so I'm going to open a file. Let's say first.sh. You can write any name for your script. So here, first line, what is the first line we need to add? Whenever you want to add in a vi editor, first press I. And in the bottom, you can see insert. So insert mode. There are three modes in the VI editor. Okay. First one is escape mode. Before this one, there is nothing. That is escape mode. When you press I or O, or these three things are going to have different modes, insert modes. And if you want to change something, it will give the colon here. That is called command mode. In VI editor, three things are there. First one, escape mode. Second one, the editing mode. Third one is command mode. Is it clear? Three modes. I will ask you how much you absorb. Okay. What is the first line we want to add in a script? Shabang line. Shabang means pound and exclamation mark, bin, bash. Are you with me? You're not giving answers.
Yes, yes.
Okay, when you want to
Yes, sir.
write first, what we have to add? First comment.
Pound, exclamation, slash bin, slash bash.
Yeah, that is Shabang line is over. What is the
Or
next thing? I mentioned how whenever you start the scripting, we have to follow these are the things should be present. Clean coder, I mentioned, right? So did you understand? First thing we have to write
Description.
description. So description describes, okay? So this is first shell script, okay? And then still you have something, then you can again add another pound symbol, and that is under the description, give some spaces here and mention here. What does it do? The purpose of this script. This is going to display. Okay, so we are going to use a echo command and see the display command, how it is going to work, displaying different things. Okay, so who is going to create? Author. So author, my name, I'm going to give at the same level line. Okay, so I'm giving my name, and then when it is created, date. So what is today's date? Okay,
13/5/2020.
okay, 13th. What is
13th May 2023.
2023. Okay, so this is a basic structure beginning. This is everything is not going to be executed. If I'm going to save this one and run, so how to run the script? Dot slash first dot sh. So it is saying permission denied. Why it is saying permission denied? Okay, here is a file. First, so let us move this first, not in the etc. We'll move .sh to root directory. We'll go to slash root again and see here first .sh. Okay, so I just moved the file to the home directory. So don't save the files in the etc. Generally, it is not recommended. Okay, what is first dot content? The file content is nothing executable. All are comments. So if all are comment and you want to execute, the file is not having execute permission. So in this case, if you want to run the script, you can mention bash. You want to run with the bash shell. Okay, so you can write first like this. So there is no output because everything is comment. So now we want to add something in the shell. So to go to the last line of the VI editor, and right now you can see there is no insert mode. Okay, so I'm just pressing Shift G. It is coming to the last line and insert. I for insert. echo. Welcome to automations with bash. Okay, so whenever you use that string, it is automatically gives you colored code, that is syntax highlighting. I have saved this program using the :X and coming out of this one. So in the escape mode, you have to save the file. So now we want to run the same script bash first sh. It is working. And we have another shell sh, right? So let us try with the sh. Sh first.sh. So you can run with the sh and bash because sh is a parent, bash is a child. You can use any one of them. In the both shells, echo is the command. Clear? That's why it is working. So running the shell scripts, we don't want to use a shell name in the beginning. Okay, you want to run the script with a /. For that one, you have to give the permission. So this file first.sh doesn't have x permission, execute permission. Okay, so change file permission mode to x, execute by everyone. So what plus x indicates? Everywhere it is going to change x. Okay, so let us change that and see how it is going to work. ls-l, it is going to show. So you can see earlier it is only r-r. Now it is rx. Here the first one is rwx. So first one indicates the user. So who is the user? Root user. So root user is having the ownership for executing this one, and the color is also changed, white color to green color. Executable files always in green color. If I am going to have executable, then you can say directly first.sh. So earlier we have given the shell name. Now we are not given any shell name. It is automatically executing and interpreter is taken from the shebang line. This time it is taken the first line consideration and then it is executed. So comment doesn't execute, but shebang line will indicates that interpreter, what interpreter to be used to execute this particular shell. Okay, it's clear. Any?
Yes,
Yes,
Paul.
sir.
Okay, so I'm going to give some variable here. How do I give variable? You have seen, right? X, I want to add here X. So when you are going to give spaces like this, X is 100, and let us say print X value, and then $X should be used in the echo, right? So let us save this and execute. How to execute? Tell me. What are the things I have to do?
Colon
Message.
X.
It is already having the permission. I
Or
can use same command, but I'm getting error. 8th line
yes, sir.
command not found. First it is printed up to what correct, that is executed. Echo command is executed, but after that there is a error. So X value blank. 8th line is having some problem. Okay, so let us go to VI editor again and try to see the line numbers along with the line numbers. Okay, set is a command, :set. This time I'm using command mode. Command is giving at the bottom. Okay, set NU. I want to set numbers. So I got the line numbers. So where is the value? So X is equal to 100 is a problem. Okay, so the 8th line is having the problem. If I want to go to the 8th line at the bottom, the command line 8:8, it will directly go to the 8th line. If I have 100 lines or 1000 lines, I can directly go to whatever the desired line number. Just give that colon line number. Okay, so this is another command you have to remember in the VI. Okay, so here the problem is don't give the spaces when you're using the assignment. X is assigned with the 100. So I'm removing that. Spaces are not allowed in the shell. Okay, now you got the correct value. X value is 100. Suppose I want to use the same X and I want to give a name Arshita and I want to print echo X value $X. Is printing. Okay, so this way we can print, and I want to get the host on which mission you are running. So host name is a command. It is giving me control plane. So this command output I want to store in X. So X is equal to, don't give spaces, remember that one, host name. This X. If I'm going to say echo $X, I'm getting the control plane. Okay, so this one I want to use in the script. So far we are given name, string and number. Now we are going to store the X with the command. This is what this kind of things required in the shell script. Host name. I'm using this symbol what before and after host name, that is in that is called a tilde symbol. Okay, so that is available before one in the keyboard. $X host. Okay. First data search. So I got control plane is the host. So now we want to create directories and files. Are you comfortable? Can I continue or exhausted, you guys?
Yeah, continue.
Aku, are you following me? Script.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm going to tell you about the directories and files. Okay, so files and directories, very simple. I'll just check is there a command tree. So tree is not available. I'll just try to install tree using this apt install tree. That is going to install the tree command. So tree indicates how the directory structure is constructed. So parent-child relationship between the directories. So currently we are in the root directory, pwd. We want to create directory. So if you want to create a directory, mkdir is a command. Okay, so mkdir, I'm going to create a directory called A. Okay, so this is, you can see using the ls command, and all directories in blue color in Linux. Okay, and D is the indicator for the first, the file permissions list. If you see, D indicates, L indicates link, dash indicates file. Okay, so D directory we have created, we can go to the directory and again create another directory. I'm going to create B. I want to create in the B another child directory C. Okay, so 3 levels. And if you want to go for the levels, you can simply say -p. Okay, and A is having B, B is having C. So we want to check that B, in the B there is a C. C is created. Okay. C. And in the C, if you created just now, there is nothing, no file. Okay. And every file, every directory is going to have two hidden files automatically created. Hidden files, hidden directories are indicated with the dots. So dot, single dot, double dot, these are the hidden directories automatically created. Okay. So A is the command hyphen option, ls hyphen la is going to help you to show all the hidden files. If I'm going to go to the home directory, root directory, now I'm in the root directory and I'm just saying tree A. You can see A is having child B, B is having C. Okay, these are the directories. Suppose I want to create in every directory one file. Okay, how do we create a file? A file we can create with the touch command. Temporary file and nothing in the file we can create with the touch command. I'm going to A now and I'm going to use the touch. Okay, and a file. I'm going to say a file. If you see here the file directory content, there is a B directory and A file is created. Okay, and same way, if I'm going to create B, go to the B and then you want to create file, touch B file. Okay, two commands in one command, one line. Okay, a CD is changing the directory to B and there it is going to execute. So currently I am present in which directory? I am in the root A directory content B in the subdirectory B. So I am in B directory and you can see the file B. Okay, B file is created. This is clear? Any questions? Any confusions?
No
No,
problem.
sir.
Okay, so in the C, we are going to see it is not having any file. I want to copy two files which are present in A and B into the C. Okay, to copy files, we have a command called cp, copy. Okay, so you know the hierarchy. One dot indicates current directory, two dots indicates parent directory, double two dots indicates parent of parent. Okay, suppose I want to copy A directory is having A file. That one you want. Then how do I give? Dot dot. Okay, then forward slash, then dot dot. Parent of parent A. First parent is B. B parent is A. So that's why two times I'm going to use here. And then if I say A file, and if you press after AF tab, automatically it will auto completes the file name. If you are not in a correct path, it will not give the autofill. Autofill will work when you are given correct path. Copying the file to the current directory. Current directory indicated with dot. Two things I am telling in the same command. Double dot indicates parent directory. Dot indicates current directory. Two times if you use the dot dot, then it's a grandparent. So C is a directory. Currently we are in C directory. In that one, we were going to get the A file. No, I want to get B file. Then copy from the parent directory. What is the file name? B. Just I'm pressing tab. It is automatically completing the file name. And use the dot to indicate copy that one to current directory. Okay. So these are all called relative paths. Relate words. Okay. Parent directory, grandparent directory. It is relation. So dot, 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 present dot, right? So present means dot, double dot means previous. Simple. So now we will see, is it having two files? Sorry. Yes, A file and B file present in the C directory. You can see C directory, A, B, C is having this one. So if I'm going to the root directory and just CD enter. CD enter will goes back to the home directory of the project. Okay, so these are the file commands and directory commands. Any questions related to files? How many commands you learned in the file? How many commands are learned about the directories?
How to copy the files from one to two, and how to move a file using MB tool, and how to change the directory CD, and also how we can list all the files using ls-l.
Mhm.
If we want all the list to be shown, we can use ls-la.
Right.
And pwd is present working directory in which we are working on,
Okay.
and we can also find the host name by searching for host name. Uh,
So now try to create on your system. On you have system? Are you all connected from mobile?
I'm on system.
Your own system. Okay. Let us
Yes.
do a small execution on your system, Sanjay. Comfortable?
Sure. Yes.
So after Sanjay, Harshita, who also should available on the laptop. Hope you will do. I'm making Sanjay as a host now. Sanjay, you can share your screen. Sanjay, you are the host. Okay. You have logged into the same um, GitHub login. Or you have Gmail, that is also fine. Anything is fine. Yeah. First one you can take. Ubuntu. Yeah, good. So I'm giving you question. Just now I have shown ABC directories. Now you try, you people talk to each other and help each other. Harshita, Aku, and try to create a directory structure. The exercise is the folder name. EX is a folder name. In that one, try to create your names as a directories. Aku directory, Harshita directory, Sanjay directory. Can you make it quickly? Hello, Aku, are you following?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely.
Okay, so make a directory exercise or ex, anything is fine. Enter into the directory. Try to create 3 subdirectories. Sanjay directory should have, Aku directory should have Harshita directory. Yeah, Sanjay, make Sanjay directory. How to create? In one line, can we create 3 directories? Hello, are you with me?
Yes.
I'm asking Aku to tell the command or Harshita to tell the command to create 3 subdirectories. Any one of you.
Um, double dot and single dot. You can do that
May,
to copy the directory, and before that we have to first give the uh,
Harshita, are you with me? Well tried, Aku.
Yes, uncle.
Yeah. So what do you think? How do we create Sanjay slash, I want the directory structure as Sanjay slash Aku slash Harshita. How do we create that 3 directories in one command?
I think it is uh, with P command.
Okay. Yeah. Give me full command. We will try. Sanjay. Only
Oh,
P will do. Hyphen P will do.
Yeah, hyphen P.
That's it.
No, sir.
before
MKDIR hyphen P. MKDIR hyphen P.
Okay.
Then exercise.
You're already
Then
in exercise.
exercise. Yeah, okay. Then write the names of the directory. But first, I think you should mention the first declare that what directory you're making. Then we can do the names.
first, is it Sanjay or
No, no, no,
should I?
not here, not here, not here, not here, not here.
Okay,
After P, after that P, you write the directories.
okay.
And then-
Is there any slash symbol or should I just give a space and type in rest of the names?
No, no, no,
Yeah,
slash should be
slash,
there.
I guess.
Slash should be there. Without slash, you cannot.
Is it a forward slash or backward slash?
Backward slash, I think. Forward slash or backward slash. That exercise slash is there, right? Same
Yes.
slash.
Yes. Okay. Let's see.
I think it is uh,
Hmm.
not like that. LSL minus L. LS minus L minus L. Now check. No such file or directory. That's what you first declare what directories you first create the directory, then you write that minus P and all. First you create those directories. Sanjay, Akku, Harshita create those directories inside one big directory.
Is this correct?
No,
Or
exercise E is small. Exercise E is small.
okay.
Spelling mistake is also there, I think. No, spelling
Yeah,
mistake
it
is
is
not.
our wish. We can keep anything we want. So
Yeah, but I think shell is, you know, what do you say, specific for capitals and smalls, I think.
we just don't have to use the special symbols. That's all. We can use capital as there is Sanjay directory created, right?
I think you should first make the directory Akku, make the directory Harshita, make the directory Sanjay, and then use this command. Without that, I don't think it will execute.
Actually, it will.
First, you make those directories.
Okay. This is what?
MKDIR, don't write minus P, first you write MKDIR exercise. Cut this, yeah, exercise. Yeah.
Okay.
Now check MKDIRC and then you declare the one. No, wait.
It has been already executed. Now
CD.
I'm already in exercise directory. Here I
It is
have
created. It is
yes, file
created.
has been created.
Okay, CD exercise. Okay.
Yes.
Then okay.
So just try to
Sure.
install tree command first. apt install tree.
apt install tree.
Okay. So right now you are in which directory? How do you know, Harshita? What is the command to?
PWD.
Okay.
PWD.
Okay.
Yes.
Present working directory.
Okay. Good. Come back one directory. Now, if you are going to see of exercise, so just write tree space exercise. Use the tab now. Spelling. EX tab. Yeah. So now you got the hierarchy. Exercise Sanjay, Akku, Harshita. Okay. So now try to create one file in the Harshita folder.
Okay.
How to create? What is the command, Harshita, to create a file in Harshita folder? Hello. How do we create a file? Akku, how do we create? This is completely exercise and you should speak, not unmute.
Okay, so I think MKDIR Harshita, then Akku
mkdir means make
slash
directory.
Sunday.
mkdir
Yes, sir.
directory. I want create file. How do we create a file? What is the command?
CP somewhere.
CP means create copy.
Copy. Yes, sir. Copy.
So we don't
Little.
want copy. I'm saying clearly create a file. The file should be created in Harshita folder. How do we create? Don't do CD. You know the path. Where is the directory, right?
CD. Yes, sir.
No CD.
Exercise.
I'm want to create a file present in the Harshita folder. How? Touch is a command. You learned or not?
Yes, sir.
Ah,
Yes, sir. Touch.
touch space.
Touch. Space Harshita.
First directory. What is the
Yes,
how
sir.
do we navigate to the Harshita directory? Exercise slash Sanjay slash Akku slash Harshita. Right? This is the tab.
Space.
There you can create a file. Okay. There you can give the
Yes, sir.
name, no space. After that one,
Yeah.
my file. My file. Okay, that's it. Enter. Check that tree again. Tree exercise. You can see under the Harshita folder, my file is there.
So
So what is the command to create file? Touch.
touch.
And you are using what? Relative path. You are given
So
complete path from the current directory. You are in the root directory. Exercise, Sanjay, Akhu, Harshita. These are the subdirectories. Under the
yes, sir.
last subdirectory you are created. Now Akhu directory should have B file. How do I create? Tell me this.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Touch.
Hmm.
Touch. Exercise Sanjay Akku B.
B file. Okay.
B5.
B, Sanjay. Give the file name as a B file. That's it.
Yes.
Good.
Tab. Okay.
Now see tree again. Is it created? Okay. So now you understood what is.
CD. Yes, we had to do CD first. Then we had to go for this.
Yeah,
Sorry,
seed
sir.
is not required. So even though you are not going to the directory, you are creating a file. Even though you are not going to the directory, you can see the file content. Okay. So now see the directory content. Akku directory you want to see. How do we see? ls-l exercise slash Sanjay slash Akku. X tab. Use the tab. This is also simple relative path. What you are using is called relative path. Understand this path. This is very, very important. Most of the people get confused with this path only. So far, what we are given in the current directory to the relation where you are going to the child directories. From the child directory to the parent directory, then you are using dots, double dots. Okay. So now we understood about relative path. Now I'm telling about absolute path. Absolute means from the slash, from the root. Okay. Now I want to create a file in the Sanjay directory. The file name is A file. Okay. So how to create a file? What is the command? Touch. Okay. And try to give full path from the root. Give that slash root in the beginning. Slash root slash Sanjay A file. Okay. So this is the command. And this command can be given anywhere. You don't need to go to any directory and do that one. The same command, this A file, which you are created in Sanjay directory. Now, I want to create S file in the same Sanjay directory and not in the present directory. Okay, can you check the present directory where we are in? PWD, please.
PWD.
Okay, right now you are in root directory. Go to the Harshita directory. One command only. How to go to the Harshita directory? Harshita with me? What is the command? Hello. Akku, how do we go to Harshita directory?
CD, yes, Sanjay, Akku, Harshita, then we'll go. That. Sir, when should we press the tab button, sir? There is that confusion, sir. So after
In
some commands, you
characters,
were saying tab button.
correct. And whenever you want to use the file names which are already exist, then you can use the tab. And you have to give first letter, two letters. Then you can use the tab. Sometimes you have two words, two files with the same starting word. Let's say A file 2. Then what happens? Four letters are same, right, in the both A file 1, A
Yes,
file 2.
sir.
So in that case, tab will work up to the first one only, up to the matching. Next one you have to select.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
Sanjay, now we want to create a file, S file in the Sanjay directory with the absolute path. Now I want to use the absolute path. Where you are now? Present working directory, please. Now you are present in the Harshita directory. Try to create a file in the Sanjay directory from here. There are two ways. One is relative path, another one is using the absolute path. Now we are going to use the absolute path. Okay. Touch root slash exercise Sanjay. Now create S file. Give a different file. If you create another A file, what happens? Any guess?
Error.
What error?
Uh, Maybe one error, sir, because a file name already one file is there. Now we are creating another file with the same name. Probably error.
It's not giving any error. No error. Yeah.
Oh,
So it is not giving any error. If you are going to have a touch command, remember that point. If you have already existing file, it will give 0 size. Okay, we'll try
yes,
to
sir.
add some text into the file and see it is going to present or not. Okay, so echo, Sanjay, can you type echo space welcome greater than, give that absolute path what you have used in the previously, root slash exercise slash Sanjay slash a file, greater than, not less than, slash root. Whenever you start absolute path, remember again and again I'm telling slash first. If you are not using slash, then there is the relative. Okay. There you have a file. A file. Enter. So now this a file is having a word welcome. Okay. If you want to see the file content, what is the command?
ls minus l.
That is the directory content.
ls minus la.
ls means listing of a directory. ls is a
Yes,
command
sir.
that will list the directory. I want to see the file content, a file content. How do we do? Cat is a command.
Okay,
Cat
sir.
give the full path, absolute path. You got it? Welcome. Okay. So now if you try to override this file, what happens? You just try, Sanjay, previous command. Touch that root command already executed. Just do up arrow and try to do that. Up arrow. Again up arrow. There is a touch command. Yeah. Try to do that. Enter. What happened now? Content cat file is created. Touch is not doing anything. Means file is existing. It doesn't do anything. Touch command. Touch will touch the file. Okay.
Yes.
Understood the purpose of
Yes.
touch? Okay, so we understood about most important thing is path. So what is this path? So far, whatever you navigated, cd command, tree command, used with the files, everywhere you are using the path. So path, there are two types. One is relative path, another one is absolute path. In the script, within the script, you have to use absolute path. Absolute means from the root, from the beginning slash. That is the absolute path you have to use in the shell scripts. Don't use relative paths. Relative path where you can use when you are working with the command line. This command, wherever you are executing, there you can use. Okay, so I will stop here. I hope you understood, right?
Yes, Pawan.
Yes, sir.
I want feedback from everyone. So whatever you learned today, write a notes and send it to me. Then we can connect back in the next session. So next session is not tomorrow, but I will let you know. So write whatever you learned, all the commands, maximize your memory and try to recollect what you have learned. Okay. And share your email addresses, Gmail addresses only. Then I can share the video which is recorded. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Pawan. Have a great day. Have a great weekend,
Thank you. Same.
everyone. Bye.